Today, we will discuss upon the topical therapy used in dermatology. Actually, this is also a elaborate branch, a separate branch of dermatology, topical therapy, external applications over the skin. Actually, the basic, along with the basic principles and practices of dermatology, we should consider the principles of topical therapy also, because while we deal with the reversal of Samprapti Ghatakas, basically it is very essential or very important that we should be very much careful in dealing with the external therapy also. In previous class, I told you the main and the crux of the practice is the reversal of the symptoms of the patient. Patient wants symptomatic relief always. So, if we consider the basic principles and we consider the reversal of Samprapti, then we will give Pajan Aushadas initially and Samsan Aushadas and the Shodhan Aushadas. After only we will go for the Srodha Shuddhikara Aushadas only. Then in some cases, patient may not get proper symptomatic relief. At that time, they will use some external applications or they will ask for some external applications, whether, sir, along with the internal medicines, whether we can use some ointments or some external applications like that. So, without considering the basic principles, there is a chance of prescribing some external ointments or labanas. While we are sitting in a dispensary, while writing a Amrutram Kashayam or Padola Gadrogini Kashayam or Padola Muladi Kashaya or Ayurvedi Jurna, there is a chance of prescribing some Rasotamadi Leva or Eladi Churna Leva like that. Because patient will ask, sir, this is a skin condition, so you should prescribe some external medicines also. Hearing their complaints, we will also consider that some external application will be suitable, and we will write some external therapy or external applications also. Then, the chances of aggravation is there if we don't consider the basic principles very thoroughly. You see, this is a case of infected eczematous dermatitis. Infected eczematodermatitis. So this was a case came for me in 2006 while I have started my clinical practice. A patient came while coming at the day of first consultation. There was a small hyperpigmentation over his dorsal plantar region. This was not the picture. At the dorsal plantar region, there was a small hyperpigmentation. Over that area, along with the internal medication, I have prescribed some Rasotamadi ointment also. The very next week, he came with aggravated lesions below the knee. Aggravated rashes was there, pustules was there, discharge was there. This is another case came for consultation in 2010, I think. Actually, this patient had a plantar irritant dermatitis. Irritant plantar dermatitis. In the plantar area, there was a hyperpigmentation and he complained about severe itching also. So, I thought a Prachana will be effective to reduce this itching. And I have done a small, I have taken this scalpel and done a small Prachana there and some relief was there. After 2 weeks, the patient came with a whole body exacerbated psoriasis. You see, actually, these types of cases, these types of aggravations are very common in your daily practice. See, this is a discharge summary from an allopathic hospital. You see, there is a condition of discharge with the 10 months duration with the aggravation secondary to Ayurvedic treatment. Can you see this? There is a underlined sentence, aggravation secondary to Ayurvedic treatment. You see, history of treatment with the Ayurvedic medication. These are very common. From Ayurvedic allopathic hospital, they are sending discharge summary as the history of aggravation due to treatment with Ayurvedic medication like this. So, actually, these are not due to Ayurvedic medication. Actually, the immunopathological aggravation is due to autosensitization dermatitis. Actually, in eczematous cases, if we apply some irritant ointments over an irritant area, there is a chance of autosensitization dermatitis. That is known as angry back syndrome. In another case, in the next case, in the psoriasis case, there was a latent psoriasis inside his body, and the case presented was a plantar psoriasis. At that time, his body was not presented with psoriasis symptoms. So only plantar psoriasis was there. And at that time, I have done a incision there, and that incision triggered the psoriasis that is known as Cobenus phenomena. Cobenus phenomena is the phenomena in some patients with psoriasis, lichen planus, or vitiligo patients. If there happens irritation with an incision or injury, the chances of aggravation is there. That is known as Cobenus phenomena. Usually, some psoriasis patients complain that they started the lesion immediately after getting an injury or some burns over the skin. You see, that is Cobenus phenomena. So actually, in Ayurveda also we can see iti doshe vijite anta tokste shamanam bhahi pralevadihidam tishna aleb utklishtam kushtam hi vivrdhimedi marine dehe. The Ashtanga Hridaya, there is a beautiful reference that if we apply an external ointment or external application without purifying the internal atmosphere, that is very important. Without purifying the internal atmosphere, if we apply an irritant ointment over the skin, there is always a chance of aggravation of the symptoms. So, you see, ye leba kushtanam yujjante nirhrita atsadoshanam samshodhita ashayanam sadhya siddhir bhavati desha. If we apply any ointment or external applications after purifying the internal atmosphere, is very, very important. That is why I am repeating this. If we apply an ointment or a leba after purifying the body, it gives amazing results. So, you see, in Ayurveda, the basic principle advised in Ayurveda is the topical therapy should be done after purifying the internal atmosphere. Otherwise, the chances of aggravation is always there. So, you see, while we are doing a management protocol, while we are adopting a management protocol for each and every case, we should consider the systemic internal atmosphere and the local atmosphere. This is a picture by donned in a disaster. In this condition, the systemic illness or the main cause of this pathology or main cause of this situation should be corrected at the face, and this particular home also should be secured. So, biphasic approach should be there. Systemic approach or systemic therapy should be advised initially. Along with that, we should consider the external local therapy also. In all these type of cases also, the concept is very relevant. You see, by seeing the external manifestation of a skin condition, we should consider the internal histological change happened inside the body, respectively. Hello? Hello? Any disturbance in my sound?
Sir, I think accidentally someone switched on the mic. Sorry, sir. Please continue, sir.
Okay. So
Hello, doctors. Please unmute. Please mute your mic. Okay. There is a disturbance for the speaker, so kindly mute your mic. Please cooperate. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir,
Okay.
Madhu sir, please continue. Sir.
In every skin manifestation, you see, in every manifestation, we should consider the internal histological change happened inside the body to plan a protocol for every skin manifestation. You see, as far as Ayurveda is concerned, imagination is more important than the external application, external manifestation. You see, as per Ayurveda, the inference or Anumana Pramana is very, very important. According to that, you see, while seeing the external atmosphere, external manifestation, you should imagine the samprapti happened inside the body. As far as modern dermatology is considered, the detailed anatomy we know. Detailed anatomy means each and every skin segment contains these factors: epidermis, dermis, subcutaneous layer, and muscle. So, you see, under the external manifestation, there is a histological change happened inside the skin. So there are some specific biopsy results or histological changes, very specific 4 or 5 specific lesions are there. We should be very thorough about that. You see, this is a spongiosis, intracellular edema. When we see an external manifestation, there is a chance of intracellular edema inside the skin. So that is known as spongiosis. So you see, acute cases like this eczematous lesion and this tinea corporis lesion, the acute exacerbation of itching or erythematous lesions, under the acute erythematous lesions, obviously there will be some spongiotic lesions. Spongiotic lesions means inflamed fluid-filled capsules will be under the layers of the skin. Very specific. Inflammatory globules, fluid-filled inflammatory globules will be under the layers of the skin. In these types of erythematous, highly inflammatory and itchy lesions. You see, this is acantholysis, loss of cohesion between epidermal layers. There is a particular equilibrium between the layers. They are very tightly adhered between these layers with an equilibrium. Loss of cohesion between epidermal layers is known as acantholysis. Lesions like vesicles and bullae, the acantholysis happens. This is a herpes lesion. That was previously this was a allergic exacerbation of this one, vitiligo. After applying a irritant ointment over the vitiligo, there happened an aggravation and a bullous rash appeared. This is a herpes lesion. This is a pemphigus lesion. So under the layers of this vesicular or bullous rash, there will be some acantholysis, the detachment of the cohesion between the layers. So this is the hyperkeratosis, means thickening of horny layer. The horny layer, the external layer, that will be thickened in hyperkeratosis. These are the hyperkeratotic lesions, plantar hyperkeratitis. There will be hyperkeratosis. If we took a biopsy over the area, there will be hyperkeratosis. Parakeratosis is the abnormal keratinization. Parakeratosis abnormal keratinization usually we see in this type of psoriasis cases. Usually the keratosis, the epidermogenesis, epidermopoiesis, the external, the formation of external layers happens 30 to 40 days. In these cases of psoriasis, the abnormal keratinization happens within 3 or 4 days. So abnormally, at some solitary spots, there will be scaling due to the abnormal keratinization. This is parakeratosis. Psoriasis cases, parakeratosis. You see, in all the cases, we can see the skin changes will be there. Blood chemistry will be changed. Vessels, blood, lymph, elasticity and permeability will be changed. Glands, the accessory structures like glands, ducts, the melanocytes, Langerhans cells, hair and nail, connective cells, nerves, these are the accessory structures of the skin. So, while we visualize an external pathology over the skin, we should imagine or we should infer or we should do an Anumana Pramana that these factors, these accessory factors will be altered up to some extent. There will be some seniority and juniority. This, though you see the factors will be the involvement or in severity of involvement of these factors will be altered. Still, then the involvement of these factors is essential in skin manifestation. Samprapti of skin disease, you see, Sira Prabhadya Tirjagga Tokkalasiga Asrigamisham Sadhini. These are the Samprapti detailed in Ashtanga Kriya. Sira Prabhadya, the Mityahara Viharana Visheshena Virodhina, Sadhu Nindavata Anya Swaharnadishya Sevidahi, Sadhu Nida, this Sira Prabhadya Tirjagga, the dosha dustada, the vitiated doshas will be dislodged from the koshta and Sira Prabhadya Tirjagga, Tokku Lesiga Asarga Amisham. These are the accessory structures, accessory factors involved in the Kushta Roga, and that will create a Sradhigarana of the skin layers. That is, Sradhigarana means the detachment of the equilibrium. That distracts the equilibrium between the layers of the skin. That is the Sradhigarana. Due to that, the disturbance of the manifestation happens. In previous class, we have detailed about the systemic therapy. So, externally, whatever may be the manifestation, initially we should do a systemic therapy suitable to correct the internal pathology in baseline. As a baseline treatment, we should do a Pajana, Deepana, and if necessary, Snehabhana, Shuddhi. And after that, we should go for Rasayana also. This is a systemic approach or systemic therapy we can frame. Other than this, you see topical therapy. This is the main area we are going to deal with today. There are wide varieties of topical therapy. Lotions, creams, liniments, emollients, pastes, ointments, powders are there, paints are there. In Ayurveda, you see Dhara, Lebana, Udvartana, Pindasveda, Avagaha, Chara, Talavadichil, Rektamotra. These are the topical therapies used. Main topical therapies. You see, percutaneous absorption, there are so many theories regarding the percutaneous absorption. You see, intracellular diffusion through the cells, transcellular diffusion through aqueous phase duct, diffusion through oil phase hair follicles, like that. Intracellular diffusion. You see, by these means, the external applications enters into the skin and do their functions, respective functions. You see, basic principles are there. Three main principles are there. Soothen the acute, accelerate the subacute, wipe out the chronic. the theory is very, very relevant. You see, acute cases. Acute cases means recent cases. In recent cases, the histological change will be dominant with the spongiosis. Means there will be inflammatory globules under the skin. Allergic inflammations, allergic inflammatory rashes. In allergic and inflammatory rashes, essentially there will be dominant spongiotic lesions under the skin. So while seeing a vesicular lesion or inflamed lesion or a highly itchy lesion or a highly painful lesion, you see at that time there will be essentially spongiotic rashes inside the histological level. You see, at that time you should do soothing. Soothing means you should use cool, anti-inflammatory, antihistaminic, smooth and non-irritant external applications over the skin. Otherwise, the chance of aggravation is there. Internally, at that time we will do Pitta Shamana and Virajana treatment. Pitta Shamana and Samsana treatment internally. Pitta Shamana means to reduce the Tishna Ushna gunas of Pitta, we will give some internal therapy, internal medications. About the medicines, I will deal in next session. You see, for example, we will do Avibhatti Shodhana internally. Along with that, we should we should apply cool, anti-inflammatory, antihistaminic, smooth and non-irritant external applications. For that, we will do the Shita Kashaya Dhara, Kshira Dhara, or application of ghee or buttermilk externally. During these times, you should avoid the application with Taila, Thara or Gomutra, Lebana, like that. In subacute pathology, there is a chance of formation of lymphocytic infiltrate under the skin. The layers will be getting to lose the permeability of membranes. Acanthosis will be the basic and main pathology happening under the skin, histologically. So during this time, formation of lymphocytic infiltrate, the precipitate will be accumulated under the skin. So due to this time, you should activate the circulation and help the elimination. You should activate the circulation there. Otherwise, the precipitate will stagnate at that level, and that will gradually be thickened at that area. So during this time, you should activate the circulation and help the elimination of the precipitated materials from there. For that, you can use very, very warm kashayas and warm Kshiradhara or Dhanya Amladhara or warm ghee application like that. These will activate the circulation and help the elimination. At the same time, you should avoid cold external application. Shida is Stambhana. So you should not do Stambhana again. So you should do Dhara with some kashayas or milk, this Kshira Kashaya Dhara. During this time also, you should avoid Gomutra, Thara, Taila, etc. Because in these cases also, the chances of spongiotic lesions, that is, a fluid-filled inflammatory rashes, inflammatory globules under the skin is there. You see, in the case of chronic pathology, huge infiltrations will be starting to accumulate. Dominant granulations under the skin, thickened fibrosis will be developed under the skin, and hyperkeratosis, acanthosis. These are the segregation of some particular elements under the histological level. So along with that, you see huge infiltrations will be, thickened fibrosis and dominant granulations will be there. That is very, very thick aggravations, sedimented at the level of histological fragments. So along with that, you see spongiosis will be latent inside the skin. So in chronic pathology also, there will be very slight amount of spongiotic lesions in the histological level. There is the chances of inflammatory globules accumulated under the skin. That is why we are, you see, this is the treatment protocol there. Wipe out, activate the circulation, smoothen the granulations, fibrinolysis, keratolysis, let out the waste, bring to heal. These are the treatment principle for the chronic pathology. The circulation should be activated in order to drain the materials from the granulations should be smoothened so that the drainage will be very easy. Fibrinolysis should be done. Fibrin thickened fibrosis will be there. So that is we should eliminate the materials. For that we should do fibrinolysis, keratolysis. Thickened keratins will be there. So we should avoid that keratin accumulation by keratolysis and let out the waste. That accumulated waste should be drained out from the body and bring to heal. Healing is not activated there due to very long pathology, due to the chronic accumulation of the waste materials. There will not be any healing mechanism there. So we should do a healing mechanism by any means. I will explain this in detail. You see, the wiping out can be done by application of heat. Means we should do dhara with Ushna Kashayas. Avagaha is very effective. Dhara, Taila, Grida, Pindasweda, Charakarma, Rektamoksha, Takradhara. These are the specific treatment modalities we can adopt for the treatment of chronic pathology. You see,